Hey beautiful people, hope you're having a great Friday and jumping in with today's video. If you are not where you want to be in life, and this may be in different areas, it could be in relationships, it could be with your health, it could be with money or finances, it could be with your business or any other area of life, whether that's parenting or any other situation. Hey Vanessa, great to have you on. So one of the first thing, if you got nothing else out of this video, it is 100% about taking full responsibility for where you're currently at. And that's a big statement. I definitely remember, hey Erica, hey Christy, great to have you guys on. Good morning, good morning. And if anybody's got any comments, questions, or a particular situation that perhaps you're going through at the moment as well that this really resonates with or really relates to, please let me know, because I'm more than happy to chat about that specifically. And it quite often will resonate with everybody else as well that's actually watching. Hey Nat, hey Sandra, lovely to have you guys on. So if you are not currently where you want to be, and like I said before, that could be relationships, it could be health, it could be finance, any of those things. We cannot create change from a place of feeling like a victim, or blaming. That was blictum, blaming or being a victim. Hey Lisa, great to have you on. In any way, shape or form. Responsibility is absolutely about taking stock and going, oh my God, I am where I am because of what I believe to be true, because the actions that I took or the actions that I didn't take, because of the beliefs that I've had on board since I was a tiny child, since my subconscious, because whilst ever you believe that it's something outside of yourself preventing you from being where you truly ultimately want to be, now you're powerless. Now you are a victim, and we can't find a solution to anything. Hey Amelia, great to have you on, honey. We can't get the solution that we're truly wanting from that level of thinking, from that level of feeling, because when we feel like a victim, now we attract more and more things that actually keep us stuck within that same thing. We're paralyzing ourselves with our thoughts. We're not giving ourselves the energy in order to be able to step forward and either find the solutions, attract the opportunities, or create change in the way that we wish it to change. And it is ultimately from who we're actually being deep down inside. Oh, thank you, Amelia. Hey Sue, lovely to have you on. Hey Ricky, lovely to have you on as well. So whilst ever we are looking for, well, I can't create the money that I want because I'm a single mum, or because things are this way, or because I haven't got the time, or my family needs me, or everybody else needs me. Again, these are choices that you are actually making for yourself. My life didn't change until I 100% took stock of, and I didn't take responsibility for everything all at the one time either. This was incremental changes, guys, and I would notice a particular area, I'd get to work on that area. Hey Tracy, hey Virginia, great to have you guys on. I would get to work on that particular area and start to create change, and it was when I took greater and greater responsibility. How am I showing up? How could I resolve this? Is a great question to ask ourselves. I'm always running late because the kids are blah, blah, blah. Again, when we're in blame, or we're blaming others or blaming situations, then we're not stepping up and being who it is that we need to be. Perhaps we need to be more organized in the morning, or perhaps we need to get ready earlier, or perhaps we need to be more patient as a parent, and communicate more effectively. If your relationship is not where you want it to be, and obviously that can be a big statement, and I'm talking intimate relationship, there's so many different factors obviously that can impact that as well, that can really make a difference. But ultimately it's, how am I showing up? Who am I being? What is it that I'm expecting from this person? So what have I projected onto them? And a lot of the time it's our deepest wounds, our deepest pains, or what we're triggered by the most within ourselves that keeps us from experiencing what it is that we truly wish to experience in life. Life is so kind, life is so loving, that it will bring you everything that you believe is true. And so if your life is not the way that you want it to be, you need to dig deep within your beliefs and see, where am I sticky? Where do I keep attracting these same circumstances? I know one of my biggest challenges in life has actually been relationships. And you know, it's been such an amazing learning curve on so many levels, and I continue to evolve and grow and learn, and every single time when I bring that back to myself, hey Caroline, great to have you on, hey Fee, when I continue to bring myself back to cause, I think we can kind of believe that we're at the effect of the world. When we believe that we're at the effect of the world, this just happened to me, this has happened in my life, or this happened to me a long time ago. When we feel at the effect of the world, now we're a victim. Now it's like we're a passive passenger sitting on a bus going through this journey of life, and whatever happens is just what we've got to be dealing with. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes life throws us massive curveballs that really can derail us and are really difficult to deal with. I'm certainly not saying that, because I know that that's 100% true, both in my own experience and from plenty of people that I've worked with. A lot of my beautiful clients have gone through major things. What I'm saying though is, if you do not take responsibility for how you're responding to those events or circumstances, now you're actually at cause. Now you're actually moving forward. You're creating what it is that you wish by mastering your own emotions internally. And this is what true responsibility comes back to. It's like, okay, this has happened. How do I now choose to respond from this? Hey, Claria, it's great to have you on, darling. How do I now choose to respond to this, as opposed to feel like I'm just this passive passenger where life is doing all this stuff to me that doesn't feel comfortable, that doesn't feel nice? Life will call to our deepest part of ourself that wants to grow, and often we will receive in life what we truly need, not what we actually want. And again, this is a big statement, and you guys know that I'm huge on manifesting, and I think that there's a bit of a divine dichotomy around all of this. We cannot know unless you're highly in tune, or have done like a lot of inner work on yourself and come from that higher perspective continually. And when I say that, hey Shane, great to have you on. When I say that, what I'm actually meaning is, we can't reflect from the deepest soul level of why life is bringing me this experience. What is it that I'm meant to learn? How can I grow from this experience? Because often we will prejudge the experience as good or bad, or right or wrong, or negative or positive, and we're reacting to life experiences based on our past traumas or past events that have evoked certain emotions or reactions. Oh, it's happening because, see, I told you, like, I'm just not worthy of a great relationship. Or see, I told you I'm just not lovable. I told you I didn't get the promotion because I'm just not enough. No, what if life was actually bringing you exactly what you wanted, but you were so busy being so focused on the negative of, see, I just missed out again. I told you I wasn't worthy. Now you're not in the vibration. Now you're not in the energy of, oh my God, I get to have things more of the way that I want. It's all in our perception, guys. And when you're so focused from the ego survival mind, and I've certainly done this many times myself. Hey Helen, great to have you on. When you're so focused from the ego survival mind, you'll only perceive things from a place of, is this going to harm me or is this going to help me? It's so much harder to get that true soul perspective from our heart when we're stuck in that survival state. And so it's absolutely by coming back to responsibility of, how do I now choose to respond? Responsibility ultimately is my ability to be able to respond. It's a respond ability or response ability. And by taking 100% radical, and I mean radical responsibility. So somebody might come up and abuse you in the street, and you'll be like, okay, well, tell me, how am I responsible for that? What is it in you that actually made yourself sticky to that situation? Have you been criticizing yourself negatively in your mind? You might have somebody in your life that you feel like they're always critical of what you do or what you say, and you may feel like that's been that way for forever. So how can I change that? It's figuring out on a soul level what it is that we were meant to learn in this lifetime. Maybe you were meant to learn greater levels of self-love. I certainly know that was one of my greatest lessons, and it was so evident in the experiences that I had earlier on, and now it's my gift to be able to teach that. And this is where, you know, life can be truly transformative on so many levels, simply because when we've been through that experience, now because obviously, you know, we can't teach something that you may know it intellectually, but knowing it intellectually, you might have read some really great personal development books. It's like, oh, that's a great idea. But until you've actually lived it, breathed it, and done this, hey Louisa, lovely to have you on. Hey Trish, great to have you on as well. And yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that, Erica. And, you know, it's, now I've kind of lost my loop of where I was going before, but when we come from that mindset of really taking responsibility for where we're at, what we're actually going through, now we actually have the power to change that. And it really does come back, like I was saying before, to that ability to be able to respond to life's events. We can't know at that deeper level until we actually start to look from that perspective of what gifts was it that I was actually, what is my life purpose? What's my hardest events been in my life? And perhaps, you know, this is actually what I was meant to learn at a deep experiential basis, like on, so that you lived it, you've integrated it into your system. It's no longer just an idea that sounds like a good idea and is kind of out here. You've lived it and breathed it, and you've had to apply the techniques, or you've had to apply the tools, and now you've needed to tweak that, or you've got some clearer distinctions about that, what that really means for you. I know when I talk to my girls in the Inner Circle Mastermind, like I share so much of like just the subtle distinctions that make all the difference. You might learn a concept or an idea. Hey Dan. And thank you so much, Erica. You know, you might have an idea around something, but until you've actually integrated it and then tried to apply it into your own life, then, you know, you're going to have a much, much deeper understanding. And I think we've all got such an incredible unique perspective around different ideas, and I think this is where we can add so much value to the world by embracing our experiences, by what we've actually learnt from the experiences. Now, if you are still in resentment or anger around particular experiences, then you're not going to have the deeper gift. You're still going to be in the emotion of moving through that experience and probably being in blame of, you know, well, this happened to me. I can't be happy in my life because this happened to me. And that is just a belief, guys. And it's not to make trite of any of your experiences or anything else. I certainly know for me, like I was so angry when somebody said, you know, your life is the way that it is because of you. And I was like, what? Like, how is my mum dying? How is, you know, my husband leaving me? How is all of that my fault? I could probably see a little bit more with my husband, just because we weren't aligned on a value perspective, and there was lots of stuff that was just clearly not okay about that relationship. However, and I didn't have the courage to leave either. So, you know, there was, life is so kind. It's always bringing us what we need, not necessarily what we want. Now, did I want my mum to pass away? Absolutely not. I would have her back in a heartbeat, in a second. Did I need that experience to get my soul gifts to be able to live my life purpose? I would say yes, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, a hand on my heart. As much as I would have liked to have had that experience in another way, I know truly deep down inside, because I depended so much on the love from my mum, that without that physical experience on earth, I had to find a way for myself. And this is where, when we can really reframe these gifts, and guys, I didn't get there all in the first week, all in the first month. It took me 2 years to get to that revelation, to get to that idea. But we can transform any experience in life simply by looking, you know, what gift was within that, what was, you know, and like I've had lots of other different experiences, you know, people being really negative or critical with me, or, you know, kind of feeling like they were shooting me down or anything like that. All of that was for me to build a much more solid foundation of me being clear in who I am and what I'm here to do in life. It showed me what's sticking inside. What am I doing to myself with my thoughts, with my beliefs, all of those things. Hey Kath, great to have you on. Hey Kerry, lovely to have you on. And thank you so much, Erica, as well. And it really can be. It takes a lot of courage, guys, to actually dive deep and go, shit, how am I actually responsible for this? And blaming yourself. I want to make this distinction. Blaming yourself, making yourself, it's all my fault. I'm wrong. I'm bad. It's all my fault. That's blaming yourself. That is not taking responsibility. There is a huge difference between blaming yourself and taking responsibility. Responsibility, again, is your response ability. How are you now going to respond to this event in your life in a proactive way, in a way that feels empowering for you, in a way that's kind and compassionate towards others? But how do you now choose to respond? What do you need to take ownership for? And perhaps what do you not need to take ownership for? I think one of the biggest challenges, particularly, hey Deb, particularly in relationships, is that we take too much responsibility for other people's emotions, for other people's happiness, for how other people are feeling, and we blame ourselves, which means we're not taking responsibility for our own happiness, for what it is that we need, for how we're feeling. So this is where, we can be overly responsible in another area, but completely under responsible in other areas. So if you're not happy or you're not exactly where it is that you wish to be, and I truly believe that, that's an evolving process. We're never truly where we wish to be, because the second that you get there, you're going to have a bigger desire, you're going to have a bigger dream, you're going to, it's always going to continue expanding. We're never done, we're never complete. And I think it just, for me, learning that as well was huge, because it was like, one day when I get to blah blah blah, then that's going to be so much, I'm going to be so much happier, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, it's going to be life, it's going to be easier, one day when I'm financially successful, or one day when I'm this particular figure, or one day when I've got this ultimate relationship, or one day, I used to do that to myself all the time, not actually understanding that life is cyclic. Life is an ongoing process where it just gets better and better and better, and it gets better and better by continuing to do the inner work, by continuing to take responsibility for the crap that's turning up in your life that you don't like, and you get to refine that, you get to retune that. I often, hey Tash, lovely to have you on, I often share with my girls in the inner circle group, or even clients, and share the analogy. It's like going to a restaurant, ordering a meal, getting the meal and going, yeah, the meal was pretty good, but the steak was like a little overdone, and the salad was like, it was a little bit soggy, so like next time I come, but overall, like, yeah, it was a pretty good meal. And then so then when you go back to the restaurant, next time you ask for it a little bit different. I'll have the steak, maybe medium to well rather than well done. I'd love to have this different salad, or I'll have the salad without the dressing so it doesn't go soggy. Or do you know what I mean? Like, it's continuing to notice. It's having gratitude for exactly where you're at right now. And I truly believe that, like, gratitude has changed my life in so many ways, guys. Even in the most hardest moments of my life, when I've been able to step into a place of gratitude of, thank you for teaching me this. Now my ability to respond to that situation is coming from a place of gratitude, not from a place of victim. And when I'm in a place of gratitude, now I'm drawing more opportunities or more solutions towards me that help me to make better choices, help me to be a better person, and to love myself a little bit more. Because when we're truly aligned with our fullest power of gratitude, of love, of positive expectation, of wow, life is really amazing, like this is such an incredible journey. And one of my clients in particular, and I often joke, and it's normally when she's been through like this massive new revelation or a new stepping through like a breakthrough or like any of that. And she's just like, oh my God, life is so crazy. It's such a crazy journey, but we're both so grateful for the journey in who we get to become along the way. And she's one of the greatest people in taking self-responsibility as well. She's so willing to step in and do the inner work and show up for herself, and because of that she's getting some powerful results as she moves through and becomes more and more who she's wanting to be as well. And I think we all have that opportunity in life. I know for me, like I said, switching into how can I be grateful for this, or what is great about this, and I know sometimes in difficult situations that's not an easy question to ask ourselves, but it will get you out of your ego survival mind. It will get you out of feeling like a victim of, oh my God, this is terrible, this is bad, I can't believe this has happened. It's like, what could be great from, or what's something great that could come from this as well. Oh my God, well, I have to learn so much more resilience. Now I have to learn some inner strength. Now, geez, I better learn how to love myself. That was my gift. Hey, Deanna. Hey, Michelle. So the more that you step into this space and take that radical responsibility, what is it that I'm here to learn from this? How do I best proceed forward? How am I going to resolve this? What's the next level of responsibility? If I'm blaming my kids for running late, what's that next level of responsibility that I actually need to take? Is it that we all need to get up earlier? Is it that I need to do their lunches or encourage the kids and help the kids to learn how to do their own lunches of an afternoon, so we're not trying to do that in the morning? I'm using a basic example. But it's often the little stuff in life that trips us up and derails us and then has us in a bad mood for the rest of the day. Every single day of your life, guys, is a mini version of your life. So if you are not happy day to day, guess what? 5 or 10 years later, not much is going to change, because we become very habitual with our emotions. And if we're unhappy, we're generally focused on what's going wrong rather than what's going right, or how we can shift or change that. And that's where that power comes from, the 100% responsibility. If I'm taking 100% responsibility for my life, for my happiness, for my relationships, for my money or my money situation, for my parenting, if I'm taking 100% responsibility for all of those areas, what would I be doing differently? How would I be showing up today? What actions would I be taking? If I was taking 100% responsibility for my finances, what action would I be taking today? Oh shit, I better work out that budget. Man, I've got to stop overspending. I've got to figure out a way to pay off that credit card, or let me figure out a way to create some more income and also to reduce my spending so that, it feels aligned for me. I feel in integrity with my money. Oh wow, I better do some money belief stuff. I've got to shift some of those inner beliefs around money. So I'm using obviously money as an example, but there's so many different areas of life. My health. I'm too busy with work. I haven't got time to prepare food. All of that, guys, is just a BS story. And, coming from a place of being a single mom that was studying, that, was raising two girls that were 5 and 7 at the time. They're much more independent and self-sufficient these days. But at the time, they were 5 and 7. I was studying full time. I was working 4 days a week, and I was trying to build my business and also get healthy and fit. It is a juggle. It's not always easy, but what's one thing that you could do today a little bit differently that helps you to step forward in a way that is positive? How are you going to resolve that feeling of not having enough time? Where are you wasting time? Where are you not using your time proactively? Is it that you need to get in a cleaner? Is it that you need to just get off Facebook? Is it, and clearly, obviously you're on Facebook now. Is it, what decisions do you need to make in order to shift your life? If you keep showing up in the same way, we've all heard that quote. If you keep doing the same thing but expecting a different result, that's madness. It's insanity. And it's true, because who you're being and how you're showing up and the decisions that you're making day to day come from all of those past beliefs, from blaming others, from blaming situations, from blaming even just life. This is just how my life is. This is my lot in life. This is what I've got to deal with. And so many people say, oh, well, when the kids grow up, or when this changes, or when that changes, they're putting off their life, they're putting off their deepest passions, their deepest things that they want to create. And one of the other statements that I quite often will journal on for myself is, if I was fully free right here, right now, if I was fully free, what would I be choosing to do? And if it's something different to what I feel that I have to, that I need to, that I should, I will get to work to be able to create and make the changes in my life in order to be living life in that way. It's such a powerful question to ask yourself. Hey Sal, lovely to have you on. So ask yourself, if I was fully free right now, what would I be choosing to do? How would I choose to live my life? Is it that you'd be living a laptop lifestyle? Is it that you'd be going on more holidays? Is it that you'd be feeling so much better in your physical body? Is it that you'd have your dream relationship? What is the one step? What is something that you can do to start to empower yourself to move towards this as well? So I truly hope that that's been really helpful. I feel like I've been a bit ranty today, but you guys can feel obviously how passionate I am about this, because it feels awful to feel stuck where we are. And often because we're feeling stuck, it's because we're blaming others. It's because we're blaming a situation. It's because we're blaming our past. It's because we're blaming, that we haven't got enough money, that we haven't got enough time, and I see so many people holding themselves back from either getting the help that they want, finding the solution that they want, or taking action in their life because they're blaming stuff. They're making up excuses. And we all have the same amount of time in a day. Hey Katrina, great to have you on. Okay. I always say that when I'm kind of reading out the name, then I realize. It's so funny. Hey Tesha, great to have you on as well. So guys, to create those changes, stop blaming things, stop making excuses, and start asking yourself powerful questions. How could I resolve this? If I was taking 100% responsibility for my health, my life, my happiness, my money, insert whatever that is, for my relationship, for my self-love, for how I treat myself, for my own well-being, any of that, put in that question. If I was 100% responsible, how would I be showing up? What would be different? What would I choose to do if I was taking that 100% responsibility right now? If I was 100% free right now? Because free tends to unshackle us from all the bullshit beliefs that we've actually held on to all of the years as to why we can't have something, why we're not enough, why we're not worthy, why we're not deserving, why we can't do it, why we're not smart enough, we haven't got the qualification, all of the BS stuff that we actually tell ourselves. Just really stepping into that ownership, guys. Whatever it is that you're wanting to create moving forward, get clear on, number one, what it is. Ask yourself those powerful questions and truly set yourself free. And in order to help you do that as well, I've also got my Manifest Your Money course coming up. So if money has been an issue, we have so much funky shit around money, and I say that with love, but we really do, as a society, oh my god, I can't have too much, but I need money, and anytime we feel like we need money, now we're needy, now we're insecure, now we're not feeling confident in our ability to be able to make, attract, receive, or hold on to and grow money. And some of you may be good at attracting it, you may be really crap at holding onto it and growing it. Other people, may just be way overspending, and it'll come from feeling a sense of lack or emptiness or unworthiness inside. And so often the beliefs that we have as to why we can't have something is actually the driving force as to what creates the behavior in the first place that's actually not serving us. It's just like addictions. Quite often people will emotionally eat because they feel empty or they feel this void inside, so they're trying to fill themselves up through love, but all it does is actually make them feel unworthy or unlovable or fat or awful or horrible. And I say that with, again, love. I've been there, I've done it all myself. I can put a million hands up. Hey Beck, lovely to have you on. So with the Manifest Your Money course, it is a skill for life that I will be teaching you. I'll be teaching you the art of manifestation. We'll be focused massively on money, but you can rinse and repeat these skills on any other area. I've done it with my health. I've done it with relationships. I've done it with money. I've done it as a parent. Any area of life that you wish to transform, guys, to know what it is. And quite often we feel like we've got to get to more action. We've got to work harder. It's because we don't know something, or we're not showing up in the way that we're not taking enough action. And you'll be surprised at actually what it is. It really is about getting ahead of that and feeling into the state of being as if it was already done and taking aligned action. This will have you more and more in flow, not coming from this place of struggle or pushing so hard against that. I do have a payment plan available if the upfront payment is a little bit of a stretch if you are in a tight space, and I can promise you the payment plan is affordable for everyone. If you are not living on the street or you're able to buy coffee during the week or able to go out on a weekend, I can promise you the payment plan is 100% affordable. So if you know that you've struggled in these particular areas, guys, I'm going to put the link below. We kick off on the 2nd of September. And if you've had any funky money stuff, I know for me, like, I had loads of guilt and shame about actually money success. So that's another way that we can sabotage ourselves, and it will always keep you at a particular limit. So you'll be pushing up, and when you hit against that, you'll do whatever you can to sabotage yourself, to bring yourself back down. It could be, your motor in the car blows up, or your air conditioner or your heater, or something happens where you now incur a massive expense, which derails and takes away a lot of that profit or that income that you've now been able to generate for yourself. And that is the classic self-sabotage. So if you identify that, and absolutely, Ricky, I'll definitely do that, darling. I'll send that through. I'll also pop the link below. If anybody's got any questions about it, or you're not sure whether it's for you or not, please PM me, send me a quick message. We can have a quick chat about it. We will be kicking off on the 2nd of September. It's an online training, but you get to interact with me, ask me heaps of questions, get any problems like solved, any obstacles that you feel like it's like, my partner isn't on board with this, but I am, I'm wanting to create this, but they're like, I had one client that was a big challenge for a couple of different clients where hubbies or their partner had a very different perspective around money, and that can be a challenge too, guys. So you learn how to deal with all of that stuff and how to stay on track within yourself, and you'll learn that is some stickiness inside of you that continues to attract that situation as well. So sending you all love, having a magnificent day. Remember to take full responsibility for any area that you guys wish to change or you wish to be different. Step forward into that confidence for yourself. Figure out what is the next step that I need to take. Don't try and change it all at once. It's way too overwhelming. Just start with one thing, guys. If I was taking 100% responsibility, what's one thing that I would change today? Sending you loads of love. So much gratitude for everybody that's tuned in. If this has been helpful for you, please like, love, or share it. I'm always in absolute gratitude for anybody that does that. This is a message, obviously, I've received from my mentors and my teachers, and I think the more that we can spread these messages, then the greater love, the greater acceptance, the greater kindness, compassion, and even particularly around money, the greater good that we can do in the world. I have a big dream, a big goal to have 100 sponsored children. I currently have 4. I'm on my way to my 5th, but that's my goal. I'm so passionate about it, and I get very emotional normally when I speak about that, because it's a huge goal of mine. So if you have a big mission to make a big impact, or even, just whatever contribution it is that you're wanting to make in life, reach out to me. Let's get you so that you're in total overflow around money. You feel so confident, you feel so secure, you're not worried about the bills at the end of the day or the end of the week. You can live life really comfortable, have all that your needs met, but be able to also give from the overflow as well. And honestly, that is true responsibility, I think, at the next level. Hey, Anne, lovely to have you on. Big love, guys. Mwah. Have a great day.